Yo, what's going down, everybody? Brother Savanius here, Command Center Wargaming. Now, it's been a few months since our last video. I've been putting up some shorts and everything up on the channel, warming it all up. We will be doing shorts throughout the week, but I'm also going to be putting out the longer format videos like we were before, and I'm going to be appearing in them. I may put this video up before the Warhammer Fest one. I had this big thing planned where I was going to come back in my new war room with my glass cabinet full of my minis, all this kind of stuff. I'm building a new war room for people to play in at my new place. But what happened was the delivery people who were delivering my glass cabinet for my minis decided to break it and just dump out front of the garage. So they've kind of delayed me because I'm also trying to put together about 100 Zone Mortalis walls for tomorrow's Alpha Legion and Dawn match, which changed from a swamp game AOD to a Zone Mortalis legendary battle, the one on Pluto where Dawn fights Alfarius. It's a test game. I may or may not bat rep it. I probably won't. But we will do another one once we finish the test, and I'll back rep that. And the main reason is two reasons. The table is not painted yet, and this is what these are for. This is for Zone Mortalis. The other reason is I have some Huskarls I'm working on, which I'm converting, which I think should be pretty interesting. So I want to reveal them all painted and ready to go and everything like that. And if I sort of put stuff up tomorrow, it's going to spoil it a little bit, you know? So, yeah, I got a pretty good idea for a conversion for Huskarls, and I haven't seen it done yet before. And anyone who follows me on the channel will know that whenever I'm painting stuff, I like to do things that people haven't seen before, or that I haven't seen before anyway, you know? I always try to break the conventional mold, if that makes sense, you know? But anyway, all good. So I'll be doing a Warhammer Fest video as well. That'll be up. I believe it's happening right now. I'm starting to see it pop up on YouTube. So stay tuned to that. I will appear in that video. So don't worry. You'll see my mug on camera again. I'm going to be coming back full steam. But I got this box set here in the boarding action, and I thought it'd be really awesome just to jump in and just take a look at this box set while we're here before I sit here for the next, 8 hours assembling all this crap. I've got another 6 of these boxes to go, and I need more of them. And there's quite a bit of plastic in this kit, which is really good. So, yeah, we'll get into that. I was actually considering buying a second one, but my day job, what I do, and this isn't a job at all, this is for fun, but my job, you know, I design things for computer games and that, and, you know, it's very similar to sculpting stuff for minis. So I've decided, I've been wanting to do it ages with the channel, because I want my own sculpts for my war room for terrain and that, so we can play on it. But I figured, well, you know, I'll just use them for myself. But if people like them, you know, I could start putting the STLs out for people and stuff like that as well, if you so wish. And that's why I only got one of these specific sets, and that's because I plan to do a heck load of 3D printing. I'm actually going to be designing my own walls and stuff. So hopefully I do a pretty good job, because it's what I do, you know, to eat bread and earn a crust. So I haven't done it on the channel before because I just sort of, was always busy, and it was a good break from my day job, 3D modeling stuff and things like that, and building levels in games. Yeah, I think now that I've got the new war room happening, it might be time for that. I also grabbed this, guys, everybody. This is a Chaos Space Marine. This was a target of opportunity. I actually got this from Games Workshop Parramatta. Bit of glare there on the camera. Sorry about that. Like I said, I'm still putting my new room together. But I really like the look of this guy, and I'm telling you, I've got to get a new Black Legion army, or finish that Black Legion army for Warhammer 10th edition. So I will be coming back for Warhammer 10th edition. The channel's content will be heading into Warhammer 10th edition, 40k. But I'll trial it out. If it's garbage, I'll just go back to Horus Heresy. I'll still be doing Horus Heresy as well, mind you. But we'll see. I'm willing to give 10th edition a go. But anyway, all that will be in the other video, the intro video, where I sort of come back and everything. But we'll take a look at this box for now and have a look inside. So, yeah, Zone Mortalis, I'm basically going to use it for 40k and 30k. Really cool walls. All right, so this one I got from GW. I usually wouldn't buy from the shop like something like this, but because of the urgency in which I need to get this stuff assembled for tomorrow, because it was decided that at last minute we would do a ZM, I had to basically go out and grab the terrain. Like you can see, essentially what's in the box, you've got these ground pieces here. Now I've actually got the Zone Mortalis, the official Zone Mortalis ones from Forge World as well. And I've also got the newer modern ones, like the re-releases, the plastic floor tiles. And like I said, I'm going to be designing my own as well. So, for my own use, and if people like them, I can chuck them up. But I have to work out how all that will work first, how I want to deploy that. So, check out the channel, regularly. Subscribe if it's the first time you're seeing it. If it's something that you're interested in, make sure you like and subscribe the video. But this should be enough combined with the other walls for tomorrow to give me a bit of a head start. And 2 floor tiles. I'm not sure if this is plastic or if it's just paper. I believe these are most likely just be paper. I don't think they're going to be plastic, to be honest. It looks to me via the box that it's going to be paper. If we're looking at the volume here between that white gap and the the width of the part here. But what I'm really after is I'm just after the walls, because I think I got this Australian for about $360 from GW. I've seen other shops like Combat Company and stuff like that doing it for like $290, $280, $300, so much cheaper. But even $360, it's still a really good, pretty good value kit, to be honest, in terms of the plastic. And for terrain, for walls, in my opinion, you really want good quality walls for Zone Mortalis, and desirably you want them to be plastic, because I found cardboard, you just knock them over, or you rip them, or you put your arm into it, falls over. If I know there are other walls that are available, so from other sites and stuff, you can order them, and they're sort of like styrofoamy, sort of polyester sort of rocks and that, and they're okay. But again, what I find is they tend to chip, and if you knock them on something and they chip, you can paint over it, but then it starts to damage. They damage very easily, especially if you have them in a box all together, if you've got a lot of terrain. I mean, it's easy fixable with some putty and that, but still, time-wise, I don't want to go back fixing terrain. I want to be painting new terrain. I want to be 3D printing new terrain. I want to be painting minis moving forward. If I could pay a little bit extra for a kit which has more durability, then I'm most likely going to do that, as long as the price is reasonable. So for this kit, I decided to buy officially from Games Workshop. So anyway, we've got the walls here. They come in long pieces as well as separate pieces. You can join them together. You can pretty much make any combination. Now, I was told that there is a book inside which gives you ideas on the combination of how to deploy the walls. So I guess we'll check that out. John at Games Workshop Parramatta as well, he also gave me some tips, and it was actually really good tips, and I'll go through that a bit later, on assembly and painting, because there's a little bit of a quirk with them. It's not a bad thing or anything, but it's just to keep something, you got to keep it in mind when you're putting it together, otherwise you can have to go back a step. But let's open this up. It's quite a large box, as you can see. It's very big. Like, that's my hand there. That's really big. I mean, it's that big. I can barely fit it on the camera. Like, this camera's zoomed out already, like by 10, I think. It's not a bad camera either. All right, I'm just gonna put this box off. Oh my god. Oh, I need to be like Schwarzenegger to get this lid off. Far out. Anyway, so here we go. It's essentially a box of plastic. All right. This is good, because that's what I want. I want a box of plastic, because I need to build a Zone Mortalis table. And I'll be doing all that on the channel as well. And I have some gun emplacements and stuff I'll be making my own, and I've got like an ice map I'm doing and things like that. So we'll be building maps on the channel as well. You can follow me. We'll be doing some live streams, and as I'm painting things, we'll be talking about my process, my design process, which comes from my profession, which is a games artist. Okay, so a level designer. Predominantly, I do other things. I do producing and stuff as well, but mainly that's what I get paid to do. But yeah, and I think that'd be a good contribution to the community, because I've noticed around, like, I've been to a few events. I have been playing a lot last 9 months, and I'll go more into this in my revival video. But I have noticed, like, there's a lot of people that just don't understand, how to balance maps, how to balance theatres of war. They'll design missions, but there's some stuff, and, you don't expect them to know, because, as a trained professional in designing experiences for people, there are certain rules of balance, that you need to follow, and, symmetry and risk rewards that need to be on maps, to have it fair for the players. So I'm going to be talking about a little bit of that in future videos as well. And I think anyone who's running events and things like that will benefit from that, because it's going to create a better experience for the player and fairer experiences for the player as well, which I think will be good as well. So yeah, and I'm looking at things will be happening. I'll stop right there, but we'll save that for the the return video or whatever when I do the Warhammer Fest. So stay tuned for it. And most likely, there's probably not much to this kit. It's most likely just this same sprue over and over again in a box. But like I said, I got contacted by one of our subs, Adam, and he's basically like, "Hey man, are you gonna do another video or what? Like, you keep doing these shorts. I miss your videos. Like, do some full length." Matt Lee is also like, "Steve, yeah, great shorts, mate, but can you put out some long form content?" I'm like, yeah, it's coming, and so let's get started. I mean, I could sit there and make it the Hollywood production, wait for all the stars to be right, powder my nose and all this kind of stuff like that. But really, I think it's about time, the channel kicks back up again. It's been long enough, and just thank you everybody for staying subscribed and everything in my absence. I've been working on like 4 games. I'll talk about it later. But yeah, thank you very much. So yeah, it's really just this same piece. It's just walls, 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 and walls and walls. And you can see here, these are the joining parts right there. But it's very, very good detail, and you can actually see here, so the quality of the plastic. Right, so you can actually see, like, I'm bending that right now, and I'm not a small guy, I'm not a weak guy, like, and there's a kink in that sprue right there. You see I'm even bending it with relative force, right? Like, it's no Astartes, but it's with relative force, and you can see, like, the plastic is thick, durable plastic, perfect for gaming on a table. And I'm always careful as much as I can be, when I'm playing. But as everybody I'm sure knows, like, when you're playing, you get excited, you knock things over, you could spill a drink or something like that. So it's very important, and especially if I'm going to take the time to paint these and chip these, that it's very important that that they're durable and they last, because again, I don't want to go back and start painting stuff, all over again when I could be moving forward to something else. With that said as well, I'll be doing another video later on talking about, painting principles and things like that. I will be painting these. It ain't going to be a golden demon level because, it's terrain. And I can sit here for a week working on one panel, but I think it's going to benefit the channel more to have the armies painted as well and to look good from a distance at the tabletop. I think that's a lot of things that people miss in terms of painting. And, a lot of people I see and they're like, oh, like that little chip isn't aligned with that chip on the shoulder pad. You can't see that detail or something. It's just like, well, you got to remember, like, we're not like, I'm sorry, but it's a game, okay? And you're painting stuff, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, you're painting stuff to play a game. It's like when you do art on a computer game, right? You are colouring things, you're designing things, you're dictating the aesthetics, right, with the game mechanics in mind. And the gameplay always comes first. That's why me personally, when I see all this NMV stuff and, you know, people treating it like they're painting a Van Gogh, you know, it's totally fine if you want to do that, you know, that's fine, you know, like full respect and everything. But for me, if I want to do that, I'm going to go do something, you know, a proper artwork, you know, on a movie or a game or something like that, you know, where people can actually walk up to it, zoom up to it and stuff. So, like, I personally paint to play, and I think that armies should be good quality, but, you know, when you're playing, you don't sit there getting a magnifying glass looking at stuff, and I think it's just, you know, it can become a little bit of a waste of time, you know, unless you're a competition painter, you know, you're going to paint for a competition or something, or you're a professional, right? And what I mean by a professional, I mean someone who earns a living from painting miniatures, you know, not someone because their mum gave them a commission or something, right? You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about professionals, but I guess that's the curse of being a professional artist. You're trained in things, you see things that I guess other people don't know about or they don't really care about, and I guess, you know, it's tough luck. But at the end of the day, you know, you've got to paint and do whatever you want, you know. Like, if you want to dip your minis in nail oil, paint them, like, you know, with nail polish and whatever, you go for it, you know. Like, don't mind me, I'm just giving my opinion. It doesn't mean that what I'm talking about is right either. You know, it's just that it's just my opinion, and in a video showing off plastic walls, there's only so much, you know, you can talk about the same plastic wall over and over again, right? But yeah, anyway, look, great detailing on the wires all here as well. You've got doors, they have these little hooks on them so they can open up, which is really cool. I'm not sure how that's going to work though, how that's going to work for application, because I don't really think that you're going to be fitting a 32mm base through there. I should have took a mini with me. I'm in the other room now, but I could have actually checked that. But I'm pretty sure they wouldn't fit. So I'm not actually sure. Beyond cosmetics, you know, like we might have some doors open, some doors closed. I'm not sure how good that will actually be. You know, in terms of bothering with that. So I might just put all these together closed, you know. So again, for the purpose of the gameplay, which is what this is, it's a game, right? It's not an oil painting. So that, you know, you could fit more units in there. It makes it fairer, not like someone rocks up to the edge of the board and they can't fit their Terminator there because, you know, the door's in the way, right? So it's always gameplay first, you know. Going back to what I was saying as well, just quickly, an analogy, talking about, like, you know, I brought up, you know, designing maps for computer games, talking about, you know, the art direction of computer games as well, and talk about painting in Warhammer, the tabletop. One of the best examples I can give you for that is like an old RTS game, Red Alert, okay? Red Alert on PC, one of my favourite games. I've been doing work on Firestorm X, which should be released this end of this year. It's a first-person shooter game based off Command & Conquer Tiberium Sun. You can just Google it. But it's been awesome. You guys are really awesome, everything on that. But in Red Alert, you'll notice, if anyone knows that game, you've got, you know, the Soviets and the Allies. And the Soviets are in red, and the Allies are all in blue, okay? Now, yeah, in real life, would the Soviets be running around in bright red fatigues? I'd wager, unless it's a ceremony or something, no. Maybe, I don't know, maybe there's times, right, that they might be, I don't know, okay? Like the Royal Guard, right, from Star Wars or something, but generally, I'd say not. And yeah, maybe the Navy, the Allies, might have like blue sort of teal camo or something like that, you know? But like, again, I'm not a military expert, but I don't think they actually have, you know, that plain blue uniform. I could be wrong, all right? But my point here that I'm making is that they were coloured like that in the game, even though, you know, it was not accurate to real life or conventional colouring, and that it wasn't coloured for aesthetics either. It was basically coloured so that you could clearly see all the units and everything like that on the screen. Okay, it's what we call readability in art. And what I'm saying before is that, you know, when I'm painting armies personally, when I'm doing stuff like that, it's for the readability of the force as well as the you know, the aesthetics of it and just having it all painted. You know, and the problem I have, and it's not a problem, like I don't really care. You know, people can paint stuff how they want. But one of the things that of note about, you know, when you see some of these people going crazy with, like, you know, non-metallic metal and painting all the shadings on the it's just like, just go use a metallic paint, right? That's what metal looks like, okay? One of the problems with that is when you have all that, it might look good as like one miniature, but in my professional / personal opinion, on the tabletop, it actually reduces the readability of the match. And it can be very disjointing on the eyes and very, 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 you know, it just doesn't make the table look good, you know. And that's the same with some types of object source lighting and things like that as well. But we'll talk about that later in another video. I'll go through lighting with you and things like that, you know. And yeah, stop that there. But just some stuff I want to talk about. And get your opinions on what you think, you know. Like if you think I'm wrong, just, you know, give me your opinion in the comments down below. But here we go. Yeah, so more sprues here. So you've got some pipes and everything there. The other one, it was like wires, you know. Wow. You know, so you've also got some different pipes there on this one. It's a pretty good kit. Pretty good kit indeed. All right. And yeah, so looks like some coils and engineering. So these wall pieces here, this is what you put in between the walls to hold them together. These little tags, these little clips, and then you've got like these joiners here on the side, which are really good as well. So that's really cool. So yeah, the guy at the Warhammer shop, John, the top bloke, he basically he said to me just to watch out. So I'll just warn everybody, if you are going to get this kit, now I'm going by his word. I obviously haven't painted it yet, but let me know in the comments down below as well what you think. All right, when you're painting these together, he said mask off these areas here, the joiners, because apparently if you paint them, when you try to clip them into the wall joiners over here, basically they don't go in properly or they're hard to get in. So what happens is, you know, you have to end up forcing it in. You can bend the plastic and you can end up scratching the paint off and stuff like that as well. Okay, and yeah, so just forewarning. And like I said, I haven't experienced it yet myself, so I'm going on his word. If I'm wrong, well, you know, sorry about that, but that's what the guy at Games Workshop said. So anyway, not that they haven't been wrong before, but all good. So there's some stories there, I tell you. Yeah. What was it? I think there was like one guy went into one of the shops and the guy started telling me about contrast paint, and he goes like, essentially a contrast paint are washes. And it's just like, well, no, some of them are washes, some of them, anyway, but it doesn't matter. It's all hearsay. Contrast is only, in my opinion, good for certain things anyway. So, you know, yeah, there we go. So it's nice, like oval hatch and everything. And yeah, it almost looks like a safe or something there. I really like that piece there. Yeah. So, all right, guys, look, I'll wrap this video up here. Oh, no, there's more stuff down the bottom. Is this some artwork I can pin up in the new war room? Kind of. It's a bit wrecked, though. But it's some art, you know. You can use it down in the war room. It's pretty cool. And here we have some instructions, which probably not going to need too much, but might be interesting. There's no real combos in there of layout, but I'm sure I'll work it out. And we have the tiles. Wow, okay, these tiles look really cool. So I was half right and half wrong in my hypothesis let's just open this up. I just have to be very careful because I don't want to wreck these. These are actually really cool. So it looks like they're thick cardboard. So I'm just trying to open it now without ruining it, because I've got these scissors here. I guess if this takes too long, I'll just edit it out of the video later. It's just that this is a lot better than what I expected. Oh, don't wreck it. Oh my goodness, this is very hard to open. All right, this is going to get edited out, so not a problem. Oh, just as I said that, there it goes. Off it comes. So, yeah, very cool. Oh my goodness, I'm even inclined to get another box for this space. Like, so they're thick cardboard. They're thick cardboard, and they roll out as well. Oh my goodness, wow. Wow. Wow, just wow. You know, like, that's epic. Wow, I'm stoked. Stoked. That's an Aussie word, by the way, I think, stoked. So I know I've got a lot of subscribers from America, Texas, and a bit from England as well, but for some reason I got like all these subscribers from like Texas and America. I don't know why, but you know. Yeah, it's just hitting my tripod, but there we go. There's a really awesome gaming mat, which has got baked lighting into it as well, and it's pretty fantastic. And I think that constitutes, on that alone, getting 2 of these boxes, because I can, you can game on that. It's not as good as a formal Zone Mortalis style mat or game piece, but it's very good. Yeah, and there's 2 of them too. Or is there more? No, two. Yeah, I thought maybe there might be 3, but well, we'll see them anyway. If you stick to the channel, like, subscribe, everybody. Let us know what you think about the content in the comments down below. Make some requests, whatever you want to do. We've already had some requests there, doing Primarch battles and things like that, and I'm going to get to work on those. They should be cool. I'm thinking about doing like a best out of 3 match, because the thing is with the Primarch battles, it's like you have 2 forms of combat with them. There's two types of scenarios. The first one is where you put them in combat 1 by 1, which, you know, doesn't usually happen in 30k. Usually when Primarchs go up against each other, they are with a retinue, all right, or an entourage or a bodyguard. So even though it's cool to watch just like, Liam and Russ punch on with Horus one-on-one, mono-e-mono, it's still not very telling in an actual theatre, because in a game, generally they're going to be accompanied by bodyguards and stuff like that. So I'm thinking we'll do a 1-on-1, best out of 3, and then we'll do a bodyguard support Primarch battle. So we'll have the 2 Primarchs, and then we'll have an equal amount of bodyguards per side, and then we'll do that at best out of 3. So we'll do 3 basically to work out the average, because this is a dice game. We do use chance cubes, apropos dice. So just to do 1 match, I don't think is going to give us a fair indicator of how that battle would play out in a general scenario. So by doing 3 at a time, we can get a clearer picture of that. And because in game balancing, game design, it's 3s is a very good number to keep balance. So you don't want to go more than 3, paper, scissors, rock, etc., or you start to risk breaking balance. So once you start going past 3 factions, for example, in an RTS or whatever, then your balance starts to go out the window, which is why most RTS games have 2 to 3 factions, and why games like Dawn of War 1 were completely epic. Were one of the reasons I got into the computer game industry. But saying that, if you remember, with its 10 factions or whatever it was extremely unbalanced, to the point where, unless you were pissed and off your chops, you wouldn't even bother playing it, properly in a competitive sense. But yeah, fantastic. Oh, look, I'm about narrative games as well. I'm not one of these fig jam cheese dicks, like, at all. I actually like narrative games in a true sense more than competitive games. But at the same time, even in narrative games, the play space needs to have balance. Without balance, it's not a game because, well, it is a game, but it's a skewed game where the interest lies in the favour of one party. And to me, that's not a fair game. And if it's not a fair game, well, that's not a good experience for everyone, is it? So anyway, all right, everybody, look, Stefanius here, and I'll catch you in the next video. I'm going to get some of these walls done. Thank you very much once again for everybody. I'm back. Let's do it, and let's play some games. And I'm really hoping 10th edition 40k is going to be good. It's looking good. The rules are looking good. There's a few F-ups here and there, but look, it's a big game, and I can understand that nothing's going to be perfect. But there's some rules I really, really like the fact that we can join units to squads again. It's one of the things I really loved about 30k. So I'm pumped, everybody. Let's see, and hopefully Games Workshop are going to do a really good job on this one, and we can have some mad fun and happy gaming. And I'll see you in the next video, everybody. Peace.